There it is. And now I just blew your ears out by saying, there it is. Thank you for pointing that out, Valerie. You know, there's always a technical issue. And notice, by the way, I think this is the first time ever that I started a live stream without starting with, all right, I think I've got picture, I've got sound, we're good to go. And the one time you don't do it is the time, of course, that you needed to do it. Just kind of funny how that goes. All right. Well, guys, great to have you aboard. Let's go ahead and start in. I'm actually going to start with just a smidge of housekeeping. I want to remind you, I've sent emails about this and announcements, and I will continue to send emails and announcements. But I'm holding a special live stream on Saturday, November 30th at 10 a.m. Utah time. And it's all about goal setting and achieving your goals for 2025. We always kind of start the morning. Hey, good morning, Karen. We start the new year, I should say, not the morning. We start the new year with grand plans, what we want to accomplish. We want to reset some things. We want to start fresh and so forth. But unless you have a really good idea of what that looks like and what success looks like and how you're going to accomplish it day to day, week to week, month to month, tactically, it never happens. So goal setting is my jam. I really enjoy it. And every November, I go through a process of reviewing my past goals and looking at my future goals. Morning, Sergey. And this year, I'm going to do this over live stream. So you will see me, working on my goals and so forth. And I want to help you with your goals. So yeah, Valerie, if you're going to be there, put it on your calendar. Because I want to help you go from big picture to, all right, what do I need to accomplish? How am I going to stay motivated? How am I going to keep from procrastinating? Because it's all well and good to take some cocaine and hey, don't demonetize me, YouTube. It was a joke. And get all totally excited about your goals, but then the next morning go, right? Staying motivated is tough. We're going to talk about that. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get into our topic. Managers. Hey, Panay, great to see you there. Hey, so you work, I work, or you have worked, or you will work. And we all know I don't need to spend any time talking about the perennial dynamic that exists between an employer and an employee, boss and employee, manager, supervisor, call them what you will, and so forth. And 1,000 movies have been made about, bad bosses. One's called Bad Bosses. 1,000 different TV series have been made about bad managers. The Office is probably the most famous of which. We love to kind of lambaste managers about how bad they are and how inept and so on and so forth. And by the way, the managers are lambasting the employees about how inept they are. Same thing as a professor. You students, and I'm just saying students in general, you all love me. So I'm not talking about you. You all love me. Students love to talk trash about their professors, how unyielding they are, how unyielding, I should say, and awful, and they don't communicate, and they don't care about the students, and they don't know what they're talking about, and they're just using old material from 18 years ago. You've had these conversations about other professors. And professors talk about their students. Oh, if I hear one more student say this, and students are always asking for that, and students are always missing this, that, and the other, and students are always losing the ability to read an assignment and understand. Not about you. Not about you, but about others, right? Come on, you know what I'm saying. So there's this struggle, there's this power dynamic that exists between students and professors, or employees and employers. And I'm on both sides, right? As a professor, I'm a boss. And as a professor at Salt Lake Community College, I'm an employee. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going to talk about power, how power is utilized, how it's wielded, the power that you have, the power that managers and professors have, and how understanding how power works goes a long way in being an effective employee, an effective student, an effective manager, and an effective, professor, okay? So that's what we're going to do today. My opening statement is going to be the same as the closing statement. I really want you to kind of lock this idea in your head for a moment as we go through today's little mini lecture. If you don't understand your power, then you will forever be fodder for those who understand theirs. Guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. If you do not understand the root, core, and cause of the ability to influence that you have, your power, then those who do understand their power are going to use you for their ends. They have goals, they have objectives, they have vision, and they understand how to use power. If you don't have goals and vision and don't understand how to use your power, you're just a tool to them. Now, Christina, this is serious stuff, right? So now, if you're a tool to them, now if your vision and principles and values align with theirs, then beautiful French kiss, right? Italian chef kiss, whatever you want to call it. But most of the time, we're just saying, who wants to give me money for doing what? We want to break this. So that's what I want to talk about today. All right. So I want you to, here's the other thing I want to recalibrate your thinking. Take your brain out and we're going to recalibrate some things before we put it back in. Here's the recalibration. We are all managers and leaders. I am a manager and a leader. You are a manager and a leader. Get out of your head the idea that, well, I'm not part of an organization with an org chart that calls me CEO. What do you mean? I don't have direct reports that report to me. I don't even work outside of school, or if I do work outside of school, I'm just one of the minions. Has nothing to do with org charts, okay? Listen to this. A manager is someone who optimizes talents, activities, schedules, funds, and other resources to maximize productivity. You are a manager. You have to manage your time. You have to manage your obligations. You have to manage your resources. You have to manage the time that you spend with family or friends and so forth. You have to manage school schedules. You have to manage work. You are a manager, okay? Nash says, we manage and lead our own lives. Yes, because when we look at leader, and Nash is on this, right? A person who inspires and motivates others toward a shared vision. You have to first, as Nash says, you have to motivate yourself to a vision. This is what the Thrive in 25 live stream is going to be all about. Creating a vision that makes you want to go, holy crap, I can't wait to wake up in the morning and get shit done because this is going to be awesome. And then you are going to lead others. You lead with your friends. You lead with your family. You lead in conversations here in the chat. Okay? So, we are all managers. We are all leaders. And we are all employees, followers. We are all followers. Okay? All right. So with that recalibration in mind, let's talk about power and influence. All right? And here's how I'm going to go through the examples. I'm going to talk about each type of power and influence. And then I am going to tell you how it applies to me as a professor to my students, as a YouTuber with my viewers, and as a faculty member to the president of Salt Lake Community College, okay? So in these cases, I am a professor, leader, boss, supervisor. As a YouTuber, I'm on a different sphere, different level, and as a faculty member, I'm an employee. So we're going to talk about how leadership and power and influence works in these three examples. And I want you to think about how it works for you, because remember our statement. If you do not understand your power, you will be tools to those who understand their power. Okay, so let's go on. Let's first talk about power for a moment, power and influence. Sometimes power has kind of a negative connotation. If you talk to somebody who says, I want more power, you tend to not trust that person, some sort of like low-key megalomaniac or something, right? But truth is, power is like fire, which is to say it's neither good nor bad. It's simply how it's applied. Fire can be tremendously beneficial, and it can be tremendously, destructive. Same thing with power. Furthermore, there's no shame in saying I want more power, because remember, it can be insanely beneficial. And I know you want more power because you're in school or you attend these optional live streams and so forth. You want more control in your life. You want to at least be able to control your own life. You want autonomy. You want to be able to influence others to help you achieve your goals and so forth. So this is why we need to, first of all, embrace our desire for power and influence. And folks, I want power and influence. So do you. It's all good. All right. First thing. Now, you are welcome. You are absolutely welcome to include in the chat a response to this as I talk through it. Why do you attend these live streams? Okay, you are completely welcome to put in a comment, and you are completely welcome to just say, I'm not going to say anything. I am going to go ahead and speculate a couple of things, right? I am going to speculate that you attend the live streams because you get some extra credit, and that's not bad. You are rewarded with extra credit. I am going to speculate that maybe you attend the live streams because you think, you know what, one day I might like a recommendation or a referral or something from Lon, and it would be kind of nice for him to be able to look at my name and remember who I am. It's like, oh, it's Valerie, it's Karen, it's Sergey, it's Penne, it's Christina, it's Nash. I'm totally going to give them a recommendation, right? And I know that Ethan and others attend. A couple of the comments we have here is, healthy start to my Friday morning and better connect with what you taught in class. That is a good one. Fernando often joins us. He might be with us now, or he might join in later. Fernando says that the live streams are helpful in kind of taking what we discussed in class and putting it in a new context. So Valerie, very nice. Christina, perspective, extra credit, understanding. Okay, so I am using, to some degree, my power and influence to get you to come to a completely optional live stream. You don't have to do this. None of what we're talking about is on the exam, right? Completely optional. But I am tapping into my power and influence to incentivize you to attend. We're going to talk about how. Sergey, good information, useful in life. I'm very glad to hear that. Okay, let's go forward. First of all, that's four. There's two main categories of power. We have formal power, and then we have personal power. We are going to start by talking about formal power. Formal power, just so you know, there's three things about it. Two of them are listed here. One is formal power is really easy to wield. It's really easy to apply formal power. Second thing is, it's actually not that effective. It might be easy to apply, but it's not all that effective. Third, it is highly transient, meaning it disappears, poof, instantly. I'll show you how, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at it. The first type of power that we have is what's called legitimate or position power. And, oh, by the way, Karen says, I like personal connection to the professor, whereas online students, you don't necessarily get that very well in an online class, right? Really good point, Karen. Legitimate or position power. It basically means, hey, listen, you're part of an organization and I'm at the top, right? It is legitimate because it's part of a legitimate organization or institution. It is position because it is where you are positioned in that legitimate, bona fide institution, organization. So, for example, Salt Lake Community College, the first one right there. I'm a professor at Salt Lake Community College. Therefore, I have position power over my students because you go to Canvas and you see student, teacher, student. The teacher's at the top and the students are at the bottom. The teacher, it has legitimate power because I'm part of Salt Lake Community College and it's a state institution and it's a position in the institution. Okay? All right. So I have position power. But you know what about that position power, guys? It will evaporate on December 14th. On December 14th, I will no longer have position power. That's what I mean when I say that formal types of power are very transient. I only have legitimate or position power when we are all part of this institution. But the moment my relationship with you changes on December 14th, because I won't be your professor anymore, this kind of power evaporates. So it's not really all that effective. Now, how about me as a YouTuber? I have no position power as a YouTuber. None whatsoever. I can't say I'm at the top of a legitimate institution and organization. No, I'm just a schmuck. So I cannot wield legitimate or position power. Okay, now what about to my president? I forget his name. What's the name of the new president of Salt Lake Community College? He just started recently. I forget his name. Somebody might Google it and throw it in there. He has position power over me. And so when he says do something, I have to do it because of position power. But you know what? That doesn't mean that much to me. And frankly, I'm so far removed from him because he's kind of like the CEO and I'm just a schmuck, right? That doesn't really carry a lot of weight with me. It's no fault of his. It's just, I don't have that much to do with you. You don't have that much to do with me. You're going to set some strategic vision. I'm going to follow the strategic vision because of your position power, but that's about it. Okay. Next one. Reward power. This is, what is your ability to give somebody what they want? So, as a professor at Slick, I have the ability to get you what you want. You want points. And so you should. I get it. Okay? You want points. Oh, here we go. Dr. Gregory Peterson. Thank you, Christina. That's good because I'm going to use them as an example going forward. I can reward you with points. All right? So I have reward power. At YouTube, I don't have reward power. I can't really reward too much. I can give you maybe 3 minutes of entertainment, but in a 12-minute video, that's not very good. I can maybe give you some information and so forth. We're going to talk more about that in a moment, but I can put your name at the credits at the end of a video if you're a supporter, but whoop-de-doo, right? So it's not that I don't have reward power, but I don't have a lot, right? Okay. Now, what about Dr. Gregory F. Peterson? Does he have reward power with me? Well, yes and no. He, of course, can give me what I want, but he can't give it to me individually. He can only give things to the faculty. Salt Lake Community College, first of all, it's a state institution. It's an egalitarian institution. And so he is not going to give me more or less than what he gives any other faculty member. And so I'm not incentivized to do more work for the possibility of more reward, because just because it's a state institution, it's not a meritocracy, it's an egalitarian group, those faculty who do more work and those faculty who do less work are rewarded the same. And so reward power doesn't really work on me when it comes to the state institution. Remember, I said that formal power is not very effective, and that's an example of it. Okay, next kind of power is coercive power. Coercive power is I have the ability to take away something you want, that you like, all right? So as a professor with my students at Salt Lake Community College, I have the ability to take away study guides. I can take away examples. I can take away the opportunity to earn extra credit. And these are all things that my students, I think, appreciate and want to keep. Therefore, they're going to do what I say because they want the points and they want to retain the ability to earn extra credit and to look at examples and use templates and use AI and so on and so forth. I could take that away. I'm not gonna, but that's coercive power. On YouTube, I have zero coercive power as a YouTuber. There is absolutely nothing that I can take away that people go, oh no, what am I going to do? This sucks. I've really screwed myself. I'm not that important. I don't matter that much, anywhere nearly that much. So I have no coercive power. Well, now, what about with me and Dr. Gregory F. Peterson? Christina, thank you for that. I keep looking over at the name to make sure I got it right. Does he have coercive power? Sure. But once again, unless I individually screw up something ferocious, he's not going to take anything away from me that he's not going to take away from all the other faculty. Once again, state institution, tenured, and egalitarian culture. There's nothing that he's going to do to me individually that he's not going to do to the collective, unless I just really screw up. And I hope I don't. Okay, so next one. Ecological or environmental power. It's a fancy name for basically, can I give you a really awesome workplace experience, an environmental experience? You've got cool workplace. You've got everything you need. You work with awesome people. You're placed on great teams and things like this. I make your job a pleasure because of who you work with and the space that you work in. In the case of Salt Lake Community College, I have some influence here. I have influence on who we work together with teams and so forth. Christina's part of a team, and I can influence that. I can meet with people. I can help facilitate conversations. I can reward behavior and so on. I can provide a canvas experience that at least I try to make pleasurable, interesting, entertaining, informative. I have the power to do this. With YouTube, I don't have this at all. I can't control how YouTube works in any way, shape, or form. So I don't really have the ecological or environmental power. Now, in terms of Salt Lake Community College, yeah, actually, the president has some influence here. And maybe you know right now, we've been kicked out of the business building because they're going to spend the next 2.5 years completely remodeling the business building. And they are going to make it a cool, amazing, fantastic space. So that's a plus. On the other hand, we are losing our offices. So that's a minus in terms of ecological or environmental power, okay? So, yeah, there's some influence there. Okay, the last one for the formal types of power is informational power. Do you have information that somebody else really wants or really needs, right? At Salt Lake Community College, I have lots of information power. This is different than expertise. We're going to come back to expertise. But this is, when is it due? Where is a template? How do I do this? Give me guidance on that. And once I give you the information, you have what you need and you walk away. You're good. At YouTube, I have no informational power. I have no information. This is different than expertise. We're going to come back to that. I have no information that somebody needs in order to make something work for them on YouTube, okay? The president with me, he has a lot of informational power. He knows what's happening with the state, with the legislature, with USHE. He knows what's happening strategically. He knows what other people are thinking and how organizations are approaching things. And this is information I would really like. So in this case, Dr. Peterson has a great deal of influence over me because of his informational power. Okay, now I want to reiterate what we just talked about was formal power. Really easy to apply because I'm the boss. Not very effective because sure, you'll get people to do their jobs, but you may not get them to do the work, to really dedicate themselves to it. And the moment you're out of the organization, all of that influence disappears. It could very well be that once December 14th comes around, I never see your name again because I have not been effective in building a relationship with you such that you would continue to be part of my community once Salt Lake Community College class is over. If I am effective in building a community, it's going to be because of personal power. Personal power, as it says here, is far more effective, but much more difficult to apply, but it's more long-lasting. So let's take a look at this. Expert power. Expert power says, I have insight and expertise that you really want. I can be a mentor. I can be a guide. I can help facilitate your career. I can do all kinds of things because I have an MBA, a PhD, SPHR certified, 25 years of corporate experience, and I've been on this frickin' planet for over half a century. I have a lot of expertise. Now, when it comes to Salt Lake Community College, it depends on if somebody wants that expertise. While I have it, it doesn't necessarily mean that people want it. And so that's why I kind of have it as flat. On the other hand, YouTube, the only reason why anybody would follow me on YouTube is because of my expertise. I'm not funny. I'm not entertaining. I am drop dead gorgeous, granted. But otherwise, there's no reason to come here except for my expertise. So I actually am able to build a channel because of expertise. Now, what about Dr. Peterson? He doesn't have any expertise I want. I don't know. I don't think he has expertise that I want, that I need access to. And so while it doesn't diminish his power, it does not upgrade his power. That's why I have it kind of flat for Slick as well as me as a professor. Okay, next type of power, referent power. Referent power is, gosh, I just really connect with that person. The way they approach their work, the way they approach life. I want to be like them, or I want to learn from them, or I want to model the way I do A, B, and C after the way they do A, B, and C. I just really feel like they offer insights into life, career, and business and so forth that are unique and compelling to me. This is referent power. Now, once again, at Slick, maybe I have it, maybe I don't. It depends on what the student wants. At YouTube, yeah, I have some referent power. I have people who say, Valor, give yourself credit. You are hilarious. Yeah, but I'm so much better looking. I'm just kidding. I have my moments. Okay, back to YouTube. I have referent power. There are many people who contact me and say, I want to learn how to do YouTube like you do YouTube. How do you do this? How do you do that? I really admire the way that you teach the topics. I admire the way that you bring personal examples and real world. And I like the way that you take a complicated topic and break it down into really easy to understand nuggets. That's referent power. People will come to me because they're like, boy, the way he does it, it just connects with me. I just want to hang out with that guy. So I have some degree of that. Now, Dr. Peterson, does he have referent power? Not yet, but he may eventually. I've attended a few of his meetings over Zoom, and there's been a few times that I've thought, wow, I like that insight. I like the way you think. I can get behind that. That's referent power. There's also been a few times where he said something that I'm like, oh my gosh, you're still learning, aren't you? So if you ask me if he's going to have referent power over me in 6 months, I think it's going to be yes. I think I can get behind this guy. But it's something you have to grow and develop. If I have any referent power, you didn't get it from me on the first day of class, right? It's something that develops. You have referent power with your friends. Your friends want to be with you. They want to learn what you're doing. They want to know how you would approach a problem. They want to know what classes you're taking. This is referent power. Okay. Next one. Network power. It's how big is your network? How well connected are you with the industry as a whole? This is not one-on-one, that's coming next. But the industry as a whole, how connected are you? How able are you to connect me with the people I need in order to build my career? Folks, Salt Lake Community College, guys, in the business world here in Utah and California and so forth, I am extremely well connected. I'm just going to say I have a large network. You name the industry, you name the company, and odds are I can connect you with somebody in that company, especially if we're talking here in Utah and California and things like that. So I have a huge network, and I think that gives me some power because people come to me for recommendations. At YouTube, I've got nothing. Goose egg, zilch, nada. I've got no network power whatsoever at YouTube. Nobody will return my phone call at YouTube or any other YouTuber. Dr. Peterson, does he have network power with me? No, not really. He's connected with legislature. I don't care about them. So network power, no, not so much. Okay, the last one, I think, the last one is connection power. This is if you know somebody specifically that somebody else wants to get to know, okay? This is a very one-on-one relationship. So, for example, I have close friends who are HR hiring managers at Adobe. So if you're like, ooh, I'd really like to work at Adobe, it's like, I can get you a one-on-one meeting with somebody tomorrow because that's how close this relationship is. This is the connection piece. So at Salt Lake Community College, do I have much power there? It depends on where you want to build a business or who you want to engage with. If you're like, I want to work in, whatever industry, construction, or I want to work in public service, I'm like, I've got no one. I'm sorry. But if you're like, I want to work in tech, it's like, I can hook you up. All right. YouTube, once again, I don't know anybody. I don't know Mr. Beast. I don't know Gray. I don't know all these amazing YouTubers that I love watching and so forth. So I've got no connection power. Does Dr. Peterson have connection power? No, I don't know. I don't know who he knows, and I don't care to know who he knows. I don't care. So at the end of the day, when it comes to Dr. Peterson, the best odds he has of influencing me is environmental, in creating an institution where I just thrive, and referent, me saying I can get behind that man's vision. Those are his two greatest opportunities to build a relationship with me. So once again, and I'm going to close on this, I want to say, listen, you have all these types of power. You need to understand where you have them and with whom and how to use them. Because if you don't understand your power, then you will forever be fodder for those who understand theirs. So that's what I want to leave you on. One last quick note. If you're interested in developing your vision and what you want to accomplish and exercise your power with those in your community and your circle and so forth, join me on Saturday, November 30th at 10 a.m., Thrive in 25. I'm going to do my goals, and you can do your goals right along with me. It will be a working session. It's not a lecture. It's a working session. And then, as always, I want to thank my supporters. These are folks who, they have power over me. They have reward power, and they have referent power. I admire and appreciate these folks because they encourage me to do what I do. So there you go. I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's been thought-provoking. I can't express enough. I feel like an old man yelling at a cloud. I really want you to understand your ability to influence your life and your destiny and your ability to influence others to help you achieve your life goals. And a big part of that is understanding the nexus of your power. So, let's see, Christina, I have to add a reason I attend. Lon fires me up, so I'm empowered and have realistic expectation of my influence. Thank you, Christina. That's what I want. That's what I want. It's one thing to go to school and get the points. I get it. It's a game we play. But what I really want is for people after attending something like this to go, damn, I'm going to go off and do awesome things. Because you can. You can do awesome things. You just need to know how and know where to start. Penny, you're awesome. I really appreciate your extra work in doing the live stream. Thank you. It is extra work, but I enjoy it. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy connecting with all of you. So thank you very much. Folks, I'm going to hang out here for a couple more minutes if you have any questions or comments or anything like that. Otherwise, have a fantabulous weekend, and we'll see you next week in whatever medium we're in, whether it's class or lecture or online or live stream or comments, wherever I see you. We'll see you later. And yet, if you have any questions, I'm hanging out. Hey, thanks, Karen. I appreciate it. We'll see you, Valerie. Head to Spirit today. Everything is discounted. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a done and done. I'll take a discount. Oh, I guess that position is wrapping up here pretty soon, huh? Hey, Sergey, thank you very much. Unfortunately, it is, says Valerie. I'm so sad. It's been a great season. Hey, have a great day yourself. And yeah, it'll be next season, right? It's all good. Okay, well, I see folks dropping off, and so I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. You guys have a great Friday, and until we talk again, have a fantastic day.